How you doing, folks? Paul from Premier again, and we're still talking about dad bod, dad god shred. Today, Fat Loss 101, steps that everyone, and I mean every single person watching this, everyone in the world can take to help lose fat if they've got that problem. First things first, a book to buy, Why We Sleep. There's a good article in Sunday magazine on Sunday, funny enough, and it's based on this, the whole thing is, and it's basically, we spend millions of pounds every year on potions, lotions, diets, wraps, powders, and everything else to try to lose weight. Why? Well, the reason why a lot of people do is they're holding on to this, they want to lose weight, but they don't want to put the work in, and they don't accept responsibility for having to put the work in. So if you buy these wraps and powders and whatever, and you feel yourself and thinking, well, I'm doing something towards losing weight, and if it doesn't work, well, it wasn't your fault. It was the powder's fault. It was the potion's fault. It was the lotion's fault. It wasn't your fault. So it takes the blame off you, and it puts it onto the product or the gym or the trainer or whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's just not you. So this is why we do this. We spend so much money on this type of stuff. Psychologically, we don't want to actually face up to the fact that it takes time, it's going to take effort, and it's going to take willpower. With life, the way we're so stressed about everything, and bills and children and everything else, that our willpower is finite, and usually our ability to say no to the foods we crave when we're stressed becomes very weak because of all the other stresses. Therefore, we give in to temptation quite easily, put on the weight, and if we buy all this shit, we can say that doesn't work as opposed to it was your fault. That makes sense? Hope so. But one thing every single person can do is sleep. Okay? At the moment, I am absolutely terrible at getting sleep. I'm not getting to sleep till 1 o'clock in the morning because Gareth's away to Slovenia, and I'm literally sleeping. I'm not even joking. I haven't left the gym since Sunday night. I've slept on a Christ mat since Sunday night because I'm training and coaching at night. I'm not travelling to North Belfast to get back up again at 5 o'clock and come back over here. So I'm sleeping here, and when I'm sleeping here, I'm up doing emails or I'm writing stuff, and I'm getting to bed at 1 o'clock, and then I'm up again for 5:15, 5 to get the gym ready. So I'm not really coping with much sleep, and this article actually made me question my lifestyle at the moment. So, lack of sleep is a physique killer, okay? Basically, when you don't sleep, I'm doing this layman terms, it encourages hungry hormones, it triggers hungry hormones, gremlin, I can never pronounce that word, and suppresses the hormones that signal satisfaction or satiation. So when you eat food, by that's called leptin, so whenever you eat food, there's hormones released that sort of tell you, okay, you're full up, that's leptin, and there's hormones that are released to tell you you're hungry, ghrelin, I think pronounce it. But so lack of sleep while dieting leads to fat loss from lean body mass as opposed to fat. So whenever you're dieting and you're not getting enough sleep, if you're losing weight, it's more than likely going to be more from lean body mass and muscle as opposed to the fat you're trying to lose. Okay, and that's going to have a knock-on effect on your resting metabolic rate, which is going to have a knock-on effect on the amount of fat you lose while resting. Okay, so sleep is pretty much massive. Now, we all know this, but this book really actually opened my eyes. The things that's going, geez, there's a lot of things here. The shorter you sleep, the shorter your life. And this is over 20 large-scale studies tracking millions of people that found that the less you sleep, the less you're going to live. It's really worrying. Progressively shorter sleep associated with 45% increased risk of developing or dying from coronary heart disease. And that's a 2011 study that's over 500,000 people, mixed countries, ethnicity and everything. So 45% increased likelihood of developing or dying from coronary heart disease from shorter sleep. That's pretty scary, and actually it freaked me out a wee bit. And then there's Japanese, this one freaked me out as well. Japanese study 4,000 men over 14 years, right? They studied them over 14 years. Less than 6 hours sleep was a 400 to 500% more likely to have one or more cardiac arrests. That's freaky. And then 45 years, anyone 45 years plus who sleep less than 6 hours a night are 200 times more likely to have a heart attack or stroke than those who have 8 plus. These are pretty scary statistics. And this book's written by a doctor, by the way, who's literally spent 20 years studying the effects of sleep. So I think he's pretty qualified to state these things and say he'd be more experienced than I would be anyway. Now, he cites this as one great example, and this is an eye-opener for me as well. The greatest study happens every single year and it's when the clocks go back and clocks go forward. So when the clocks go forward 1 hour, worldwide, there's a spike in heart attacks, and this can be found from the hospital records around the world. So this guys went actually into the hospital records around the world on specific dates of the clocks going forward and back, and seen, compared the increase in heart attacks to the normal days. And what I found was, clocks go forward, there's a worldwide spike in heart attacks, and when the clocks go back, there's a worldwide decline in heart attacks. So 1 hour sleep on one day, the less 1 hour, or 1 hour sleep less, or 1 hour sleep more, can determine a lot of people either having heart attacks or not having heart attacks. Again, that's pretty freaky. The body, and then when you have lack of sleep, the body's unable to effectively manage calories, especially sugar concentrations in blood. Correct sleep leads to your ability to control hunger pangs. Studies found that people eat 300 calories more every day they sleep. It was reduced to 4.5 hours. And this is similar happening if you sleep 5 to 6 hours over a 10-day period. So you're going to be eating 300 calories more. If you're having 6 hours sleep in 10 hours, 10 days straight, you're going to be eating 300 calories more than you would without that. And that equates to 70,000 extra calories, or 10 to 15 pounds a year. So put that in context for you, folks. If you get 8 hours sleep, there's a good chance you're going to be 10 to 15 pounds later a year. You're going to lose 10 to 15 pounds a year just by getting 8 hours sleep. So small things that can help is turning your TV off before you go to bed, not before you go to bed. What I'm guilty of, and everyone I'd say watching is guilty of, being on your mobile phone at night, scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through Instagram, reading an article, whatever it is on your phone. That light is affecting your ability to sleep. You can get those blue screen glasses that sort of cut those rays out and help you sleep better. Take your electronic devices out of the bedroom. Make sure you get to sleep. Have some carbs before bed. Okay, that's going to help you sleep. Going to induce sleep, it's like tiredness, and make sure your bed is comfortable. This is something I learned when I moved in my mate there 6 months ago. He had a mattress that cost $3.5 grand, and I swear to you now, I have never had sleep like it, because invest in a mattress. I know it's crazy. People say, I'm not investing that amount of money, but you're going to spend a third of your life sleeping. So why not make sure you'll spend money on crap that you don't really need, but yet you want to lose weight. You're spending millions. We're spending millions every year on potions and lotions and diets and wraps and powders. So why not forget all that money? And over, like, a mattress can last about 8 years. So spend the money you would spend on that crap on a good mattress, and encourage restful sleep. Take something like magnesium, Mag 365. It's something that I absolutely swear by. It's brilliant. And another thing that I've started doing recently that is crazily good, it's out in Dundonald, and I'll give them a plug. Hydroease, the flotation tanks. Honestly, I cannot recommend that place enough. It is. I'm going like once a week if I can. It's not the cheapest, but it's one of the best hours I've spent. You feel rejuvenated, relaxed. The flotation tanks are basically, this is not like one of these pods. It's actually like a big bath, like a 2 metre by 2 metre bath. 2 people can fit in it comfortably and still have loads of room. But there's no noise. The water temperature is the exact same as your body temperature, it's the exact same as the air temperature, so it's as close to floating as you're going to get, and it's as the last time you were in this sort of environment was in the womb. So it brings you back crazy dreams, crazy thoughts go through your head. Very, very strange experience, but a really, really worthwhile experience. I'm addicted to it now. But it's got a half ton of Epsom salts in the bath, so the water's lovely and warm, the air temperature's lovely and warm. You float, you can't sink, it's impossible. You're only in this much water anyway, but the Epsom salts in absorbs all that magnesium. Your muscles feel unbelievable. You close your eyes, you fall asleep quite easily, you have some crazy thoughts, but you feel rejuvenated and rested afterwards. Now, I usually fall asleep for a good 20 minutes in it, but the 20 minutes feels like about 5 hours worth of sleep. It's fantastic. So definitely, if you're having trouble sleeping, 100% go to Hydroease and try them out. And if you're a member of Primal, Vivian, the owner, is going to be coming in here next month to talk about it, and we're going to have a 10% reduction or 10% discount for all members. It's that good. I genuinely recommend it. So that's it. Very quick one today, folks. Just get your sleep. Focus on that. Forget about everything else. If you want to start losing weight, get consistent with your sleep. I know something I'm going to have to start doing. I'm going to start setting myself my alarm or my bed for 9 o'clock at night now to get myself 8 hours. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.